take it out to the world too. It'll be exciting.
Yeah, very good.
Hi guys, are we good?
Just give me one quick minute.
Yeah, sure. Take it out to the world too. It'll be exciting.
Yeah, very good.
Hey, so we are live now. I'm just starting the recording part.
Super.
Great, we are good to go.
Super. Okay, I will repeat. We had a tiny glitch, folks, and so we thought we were live, but we weren't. So I'll, get back on the grind and welcome you all back in to, this Friday Teardown. So happy Friday, everyone. And thank you so much for all the excitement and love you showed with our CRO event. And a bunch of you thought that that's it. We are not gonna. That's it, like it's a one-time thing and it's done, but it's not. We will try our best to actually bring in experts once a week at least and try to do same kind of teardowns, deep dives into different CRO tactics and more. So stay tuned. And very quickly over to Will. I've already met Will a couple of, kind of chatted with him a few times and met him once before. And we have amazing ideas that we want to explore together. But more importantly, today he's my guest and we are going to be tearing down a brand and we'll get to that. But before we get started, Will, a quick introduction. What do you do and why is it exciting and important for e-commerce teams?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Will. I'm a CRO consultant based in the UK. I got into CRO because I had the same problem in a couple of, pretty much every in-house role I was in, which was we were given large marketing budgets and told go spend the money, go acquire customers and grow the business. And it doesn't really work like that, especially in startups where the product it's not perfect yet because it's literally been live maybe a year, maybe less. So what I kept finding was, our Facebook ads would be working well, our PPC would be working well, all that sort of stuff, but we just wouldn't be converting as well as we should be. We weren't retaining customers either. So I started to move myself more into that product kind of focused marketing, working with the product teams, developers to say, well, this is the feedback we're getting. This is what the analytics is telling us. Here are our problems. We need to fix these problems before we start building all these nice new features that you've got planned in your roadmap. Because yes, they're great, but if we don't get people, converted, signed up, whatever, they're not never going to use those features anyway. Yeah. Like, I remember one brand wanted to build in a referral, like their own custom-made referral system. And I said, well, no one's going to use it because we're not retaining customers. And if you're not retaining customers, why would they, they're obviously not happy. So why would they refer a friend to a business they're not happy with? So yeah, I started moving myself more and more into that over the years. And then, left my last job November 19, just before the pandemic. So yeah, I've been doing this as a consultant for 2.5 years now.
Super interesting. And something that you said is that when you started and then there was this kind of perception or thought or at least understanding of what is conversion and how to grow. And then that shifted as you jumped across different in-house roles. And I love the way that, you mentioned about how retention and, data and keeping your eyes tight on the funnel is so important for growth. It's not just about pumping in money and getting in more and more traffic, right? That's not going to solve your problems.
Yeah, exactly. You need to retain customers to build a proper successful business that's going to have a long-term, long-term life to it. I'm actually, so the business we're going to be looking at is one that requires retention, like definitely requires retention. Their business model will be built around it. They absolutely would not be here today. Well, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be here today if they were just getting people in through the door, making one purchase, and that was it.
Totally. And on that note, I think we should just dive into the teardown. We are already a few minutes into the conversation, and I don't want to keep the audience waiting. So what do you have for us today? Which special brand? Because guys, even I don't know what we are going to be tearing down today. So I'm as excited as you are.
It is a I'm pretty sure it's a UK brand. I don't know if it's elsewhere. It might be in the US. I'm not sure. It's called Naked Wines. So I'd say it's a pretty massive brand in the UK now. I don't know when they launched, but I remember seeing the founder talk at an event in probably about 2014. So I'd say they're a good 10, maybe more years old. It's a really cool brand. I've been a customer for probably like 8 years now, something like that. And they actually, I don't know exact situation, but I think they merged with a very big brand here called Majestic Wines, which I think is a bit more global. And my understanding is it's now becoming more and more the Naked Wines brand as their main thing. So let me share my screen.
Yeah. And who better than a loyal customer of 8 years to tear down?
Yeah, exactly. So can you see the Naked Wines screen?
Yes, I can.
Let me get rid of that. Cool. So I wanted to start with an incognito window, because the experience you get, even if you're logged out, is different. So this is what you would see if you're a brand new visitor to the website, or if you clear your cache, obviously, or on your device. So the website, the page is much more a landing page, right? It's pretty designed to just get you to sign up. So you've got, I think, a pretty good headline: the world's best independent winemakers make their best wine.
Yeah.
Right? Why? That sounds great. I want the best wine. Independent winemakers some people may not care about that, but they want the best wine, right? So, and then discover a better way to enjoy great wine. I think that's another pretty good headline.
Yeah.
And you've got I wouldn't say this is an award, but I don't know what this is actually. Yeah, maybe that's one thing I'd maybe tidy up on this page. I don't really know what this is showing. I don't know if this background picture is a group of winemakers that they've got together for this image.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it is, because they've got, place, location, place and date. So it looks like it was probably a gathering, but it's a little bit unclear. But it's still a good picture. It's a picture of people enjoying nice wines, got several bottles out, and you can see their box in the corner, which I think is quite good. This box exists because of you. They've got some good messaging there. If we scroll down a bit, this is the bit that always stood out to me with their early marketing. I don't know how much they focus on it anymore, but the pay fair prices. So drink better wine, pay fair prices has always been a key part of their marketing, which I think is really good. Again, it's all just designed to get you to click start, but it gives you kind of snapshots of what they're about.
Yeah.
Realizing this isn't much of a tear down, it's more of this is why they're so great. But I'm sure I'll come across some things. Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Why drink naked? So world-class wine, great. Pay up to 33% less than you would on the high street. Yeah, again, great. Support and connect with talented independent winemakers and fellow wine lovers. So you get the impression that there's community there.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there could be a bit more specific about what that might look like, but the fact that there's a community element there is quite interesting as well.
Yeah.
Just maybe they could have a section on what this really means, because this, support and connect winemakers and fellow wine lovers, that's quite a big piece. Right, pay up to 33% less than you would on the high street. That's really easy. Like that's the entire message there.
Yeah.
But this piece is a bit, okay, what's that? What's involved with that? This section, I think is probably fine. Yeah, the one thing I would say is I would probably have some reviews here, some actual reviews, and also possibly a link out to Trustpilot, so that people can actually go check this themselves. I'm a little surprised. I don't know if it's later. Yeah, maybe there. Yeah, there's not really any testimonials, and none that look like third party, right? So I think it's really important to show, Trustpilot has this feed, right? You can show actual reviews from Trustpilot, and people can scroll through those. And because it looks like Trustpilot, people don't necessarily need to go click elsewhere, because they understand that these are Trustpilot reviews. When you stick reviews on the website in your own design. I think people do question them. They're kind of like, well, obviously you're just going to pick people saying great things. I'm going to go check out Trustpilot.
Oh,
I think
really?
could also...
That's actually a big learning for me. I never thought of it that way. So you're saying that native kind of reviews is a better embed than actually just like embedding designed reviews? That's an interesting thing.
So this, for example, right, this is, as far as I'm aware, right, so these aren't even pictures of people. These look like stock images. Obviously, there's 3 incredible reviews there by Paul C, Christina M, Ian B. I don't know who these people are. I've got no picture. I've just got 3 great quotes. How much am I going to believe that compared to going off to Trustpilot and reading what people are saying there? That's where the issue is. There's not a lot of credibility to these reviews. If you could add a picture of the person, and maybe do have some sort of verified review thing, that'd be good. But again, that's got to be done through an app, a proper app like Trustpilot, Akendo, whatever. I think people who read these sort of reviews, I don't know if people do, to be honest. I wouldn't pay these much attention because obviously they're going to say these are incredible. I would like a review that said, I bought the starter box and had maybe the delivery was a day late, which is a bit annoying, and 2 of the wines were bad, but I got in touch with Naked Wines and they solved it. Right, that's the sort of review that makes me go, okay, this feels genuine and it's a good quality review, and I can tell that the company cares, the company fixed the problem. But just reading something that says the company's the best thing in the world doesn't add any value to me.
No, that's very true, because even last week when we were speaking to another expert, and I remember him mentioning this, that it's both. I think it was Lorenzo. It is like both the positive and the negative, right? You got to show both, because that's just reality. Yeah. Don't hide. Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
I've done customer interviews recently, and I think even read reviews where people have said, I tend not to trust reviews on a website, especially if I can't see good ones. Right? If you can't see the good review, can't see bad ones. I was looking at a website the other day. Actually, I was speaking to the business, and they had several thousand reviews, but all their reviews were 5-star and 4-star.
Yeah. And
I kind of questioned it, and he did say, yeah, he thinks maybe it's being filtered out within the app. And people know that, right? There's absolutely no way your business has no 1, 2, or 3-star reviews unless you're brand new. Something's always gone wrong, or you've always got that customer who might be happy, but they're still like, but 5-star has to wow me. 4-star is you got me the product and it was good, it did the job. 5-star is you did something incredible. So you've always got that person who's going to rate you down just because it's done a perfectly good job, but it was nothing incredible. The other thing I might want to look at here is this over 4 million wine reviews. So I don't know what that means. Is that 4 million reviews by the members? Is it? It's probably not 4 million reviews of wine that they've done, but I think they could just make this section a bit richer, give you a bit more information. So then we've got winning wines. Let's have a quick look at this. So they're using another external trust badge, which I think is good. So Vivino is obviously getting bigger and bigger as a brand. A lot of people use it. So this must be. Oh, so it is literally, it's a scrolling thing. Oh, and that moves.
I almost missed that. Yeah, I missed the scroll, but this interaction is fun. Yeah.
But I think so. Obviously, these are reviews. These are like this kind of stats, I suppose. The general impression of these wines.
Yeah.
But I think they could go a bit more here with the world-class wines that started a revolution. They could make it clearer that maybe these were the first 3 that the business sold. A red wine, a Prosecco, and a white wine. Right, just make it a bit clearer that these were the first 3 that they invested in. They could go a bit more into the story of these are the wineries. winemakers we support. But I still think, obviously, they've got 96% of 4,104 Naked Wines customers would buy again. That tells you that's pretty decent. Right. And obviously you've got a little review. These ones, I suppose, do work because as long as you know what an angel is, right? So I know. So this, to me, immediately I was like, okay, fine. It's an angel, not just a customer. But I think maybe they need to reinforce this whole angel thing and what that's about.
What does that mean? Yeah.
Without making people think that's the only thing there is, because you don't have to be a member. So I think that's probably something that might be missing here as well. By hinting at this member message, people might think they've got to opt into a subscription or something like that. You don't have to. You can just buy like a box of wine, or you can sign up to be an angel, which is what I've done. So you've got the connecting with you. So get close to the winemaker, only pay for the wine. Cutting out the middleman, right? So that's, again, it feels like this is part of the message. So they've got that message about saving 33% at the top or above, but then that's not here where they're actually talking about the cost. So they could break it down here and say importer agency, 12% of cost, retail buyer, 7% of costs, something like that. Kind of break it down, which they might do further down the page. I think there might be another graphic. But they used to do it. They used to market it. They had two bottles of wine next to each other. And one was the Naked Wines, which was like cost of the wine, cost of getting it to you or something. And then they had the supermarket one, which was like cost of the wine, this tiny amount at the bottom. And then they broke down all the little costs, and they did it in the pound value as well, which I thought was really good. So I think it was like a £10 bottle of wine in the supermarket, you're actually getting about £2 worth of wine. Whereas if you buy a £10 bottle from Naked Wines, their argument was you'd get £8 worth of wine. So that was really powerful messaging. I wonder if maybe there have been some challenges to it or something like that. And maybe that's why they've not used it so much. Would we do better differently? So I like this. I had to look at this earlier. So they're comparing two wines that they're saying are pretty much, comparable, right? So they are different brands. They're not saying you can get the same bottle from us, but what they're saying is, it's got a Vivino rating of 4.1. So does this one. It's in the top 2% of wines versus top 1% of wines, so a little bit different. And they're now saying, so this, maybe, okay. I didn't realize that at first. So they're now saying the chief winemaker at this one, the supermarket brand, now makes wine exclusively for Naked Wines.
I missed that completely. Yeah.
I don't know if they're saying that he now makes this wine or if it's a different one, but they're basically saying the guy who was in charge of making this wine is basically ours. He makes for us and us only. And then obviously they've got the price comparison and a date. So I like that. As of 17th. That's interesting. So the date's the wrong way round for me, despite the fact that they know that I'm in the UK because I've got a UK identifier.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that that date's off, because there will be other dates where it doesn't massively make a difference, but the date, I would say it's one date, but actually they'd be saying it's a month out or something. Not that that really matters.
Yeah. Will, we have a question from the live stream. Actually, I'm just going to read that out.
Okay.
Varada is saying, I have to read a lot in this site to make sense of it. Like that's his first point. And second is that, do you think adding more detailed reviews or contextual reviews in each section will make it more believable? So he has two questions. One is that
reviews was that.
One is contextual reviews. Yes. The second is that there's just a ton of text, and he feels like he has to read a lot to make sense of it. What are your thoughts?
I don't think it's well, okay, there's I guess there's 2 points to that. One, I don't see the issue with a long landing page with lots of information, right? The other part is, as long as that information is good and valuable, and if you're saying that you're reading this page and you're having to take in a lot of information to understand what the business does, then they need to fix that. right? It needs to be clearer. I think we've still not established, is this a membership? You know, saying, yes, please, I'm in, get started. Am I getting started with purchasing a wine? I would say get started sounds more like a membership, but it's still not, it's not really clear. And I mean, I don't know if they have changed the model. I don't think they have, but I think that's what I'd say to that. I think long landing pages are fine. You can have loads of information there as long as it helps. And I think some of this helps, but some of it can be stronger as well.
Yeah.
So I do like this comparison. I think they could call that out a bit more. You know, this former chief winemaker at that, because, you know, I probably wouldn't read the title of these because it doesn't really mean much to me. I'd just be looking, I can see it's a comparison, 2 bottles. Okay, what are the ratings? And I might read this and go, okay, well, what's Craggy Range?
Yep.
And then suddenly realize it's there. So I think maybe they could call that out a bit more. And as for contextual reviews, maybe, but you risk adding just clutter. I think if you had a decent section here with just some actual reviews, that would be fine for this bit.
Yeah.
You know, you've got, because they have got that other social proof here. They've got the Vivino ratings. They've got their percentage of customers who would buy again. They've got their little angel testimonials. So I think there is a bit of social proof throughout, without just sticking it everywhere, which isn't always necessary.
Yeah, we're 10 minutes out. We're 10 minutes out, so I just want to make sure we cover everything. What else do we have on the incognito that we want to cover for sure before we jump out to the cognito version?
I'll focus a bit more. There's just a couple of things that I want to show cognito because it's really cool. But let's focus on this page. So you got the community side. So none of it's. See, I didn't see those. I did not realize that was scrollable until I just happened to click there. But yeah, it's just a bit of, I suppose, a little bit of, these are the people who work with us. Maybe there could be a bit more information. Oh, so you got this guy again, this former chief winemaker. She's got hundreds of trophies and medals under her belt, 92 points from wine critic Robert Parker. I don't know who that is, but if he's a wine critic, fine. But yeah, I don't know.
Will, I just thought came to my mind. Maybe putting in Rod's picture and his family's picture on the section just above, where they're talking about him, making, that might actually make the section even uplift a little bit more. What do you think?
Potentially, you could maybe add it as like a little section on the bottom, which only the Naked Wine side has, which is his picture, and then you could make that text a bit bigger and say, this guy who used to create that range, he now works for us, or makes wine for us. But here, potentially they could add, I'm sure in the community side, they've got some scores for the actual winemakers. So they could do, like top rated winemaker at Naked Wines, 96% approval rating, whatever. Pick a different stat per person. So they're not just repeating the same stuff. We've kind of talked about this section. I don't think it's, nothing's clickable. Those images don't do anything. I'd just get rid of this section or replace it with a Trustpilot review section. Hassle-free return guarantee. I mean, these are all right. I would make this stronger, the return stronger. It is pretty much a no questions asked return policy. And I think they can make that clear. Hassle-free refund guarantee, you don't know what that covers. And I don't think it's supposed to be if you don't like the wine. I think it is supposed to be if you think the wine's bad, if you think there's something wrong with it. But yeah, maybe they could make this bit a little bit stronger. And personally, I don't like the font here, just because it's a little difficult to read, I think.
So true.
Here you got, okay, this is where it gets clear, right at the bottom. No tie-ins, hassle-free refund guarantee. I think that's great, and no membership fees. So that's the bit which now tells me.
I do feel like those icons, like a ton of sites have that nowadays. They just have like those standard trust icons, right? Like no shipping, 100% refund. Yeah, that would just be like so much easier.
Speaking of icon, they probably could just put a little icon with these. It would I suppose, make this, because that section's very plain. So
very black.
Let's just see what happens if I click. Oh, okay. So you get you enter a quiz.
Yeah.
I don't know why I've entered a quiz. You buy so get started. You buy, right? How much is likely you've spent on the juice inside the bottle? I know they're trying to educate a bit, but I've just said I want to get started. This isn't getting me started. This is literally a quiz. So, right. So you get a £30 discount off your first purchase. Cool. So no requirement to buy again. Plus 2 reminders. It's interesting that they say you're giving us permission to email your voucher plus 2 reminders and store your data for 3 months. That's quite interesting. I would probably rephrase that bit. So instead of to store your data for 3 months, I would just phrase it as something like permission to email your voucher plus 2 reminders over the next 3 months.
Yeah,
something like that. Because store your data just sounds Skynetty, doesn't it? Cool. So now I want to show you the other version of the website. So this is what I see when I land on the website, because I've been to the website, they recognize me, but as you can see, I'm not actually logged in right now.
Yeah.
And part of the reason for that is if you're logged in, you can just click buy. You can just buy stuff. There's no payment details because I've already dealt with that. Which means, I guess, in theory, someone could get to the website and just, if they get access, just buy crates after, like case after case of wine. Could cost me a lot of money. So, so just ignoring that, I'm just going to log in quickly. I'm going to try to log in quickly. Cool. So, that's quite interesting. It still says it's asking me to log in, even though I'm logged in, and it's obviously recognized that I've logged in because it's now got my cart there. But that's really odd. And might mean I can't show you what I wanted to. But part of it is, as a customer, I've come back to this website, and the most likely thing I want to do is either go into my account to do something. So change my subscription, or just check how much credit I've got on my account, something like that, or I want to buy wine. And there's not a lot. You have to scroll down, I don't know, a quarter of the page to get to wine. And this is just buy these wine. In fact, it's would you buy these wines again? It's not even asking me to buy. It's asking me to rate these wines. And I can't remember, but I recognize that one and that one. They're good. So I can say yes, but I don't really remember. They send me down to this, and these, I don't believe these match the price points of the ones that I have bought. So they're not really, they're saying it's a high match, but it seem a little expensive for me. And you get down to some offers here, but really, I think it should just be the first thing you see on this page. What do you want to buy? Do you want a new case? What are you looking for? Mixed case, this. And they could probably tailor it to what they know that I like. So let me just see if I can log in, because I do want to show you that.
Quick heads up, I'm getting, we have 2 more questions and we have 5 more minutes on the clock.
Let me give it one more chance to log me in. Right, it's cool. It's logged me in. So it's cool because you can see how much credit I've got, right? And you can see, unfortunately, how many wines I still have to rate. So I think they could probably do a better job of trying to get me to rate wines, because I clearly don't do it. So what I wanted to show you was, I normally use a subscription, and I believe either I turn my subscription off for some reason, or it's been reset for something. So I use this thing called the Wine Genie, which is where they just send me a case every set period based on what I've told them I like, and then they just charge me for whatever they've put in there. So I want to learn more, and they put you into a quiz. Not exactly. Okay, I think they could do this a little bit better. You've got how it all works, which I think I don't need to know this because I've done this before.
Yeah.
And so they could just chuck me straight into the quiz. But, how do you buy wine? Right. So it might just be, I buy what's on special offer. Do you like red wine? Love it. And I really like this. So they're not just saying full-bodied and bold, which I might be like, I don't really know what that means. They're saying it's the kind that's perfect with a hearty stew. And I go, okay, cool. I think I know the sort of wine that I would like with that.
Yeah.
So I love it. I like it. I'm not going to go through this because it looks like it's got a few questions, but I think this is a really good thing that they've done. And then they literally just email me every however many months I've set it to, and they say, we're going to be sending out your box next week. Do you want to make any changes or alterations? I think they say this is what your box is going to be. Is there anything you want to change from it? So that's really cool. I think that's really good, and it means I don't have to do anything.
Got it. So
which is great.
They're kind of like re-engaging you back, to ask you
on the retention side. Yeah, like if they can get, I reckon if they can get someone into the Wine Genie, that person just stays subscribed for ages. Because also, I put a certain amount of money into the account every month, so it's not like I don't even feel like I'm having to commit to spending £100 on a case of wine, because that £100 has slowly been spent over the last 5 months or whatever, 5-6 months. So actually, the kind of consideration for purchase is nothing. It's normally you get an email saying, we've put these wines. Yeah, that's it. We've put these wines in your case. It's £6 over your limit. If you're happy for us to send it, just don't do anything. We'll send it and we'll just charge you the extra £6. They make it so easy. They could add in some communication methods such as SMS, which would be great. But yeah, they make the process really smooth. I reckon their retention on that is probably really good because the quality of the product is fantastic, and they make it easy, and it's that discovery piece as well. So I get to try new wines every single time.
And you've been using it for 8 years. So clearly they've nailed retention.
Yeah, I mean, you can see I've got 132 that I still haven't reviewed, plus the ones that I probably have. So yeah.
I just want to quickly get to the two questions. We have like 3 minutes out. One is, it looks like a ton of UX reviews, and sometimes user experience can be subjective in nature. How do you think about CRO beyond UX?
So the three big things I look at are usability, which is the UX side. It's how easy is the website to use? How easily as a customer, how easily can I do whatever it is that I've come to the website to do? So ignore the kind of, when I think about conversion rates, I'm not thinking literally website conversion rate. I'm thinking conversion rate of the goal that the customer wants to achieve. Right. So if they want to go to their account and change the amount of credit they put in every month, right, how do we make that goal better? How do we help people do that and reduce the number of customer care contacts? Then it's anxiety. So have we identified any questions and concerns that people might have about signing up for this website? So that could be the membership thing I mentioned. People saying, I don't want to commit to a 12-month membership or a monthly membership. And they eventually did it at the end, but I think maybe they could have, at the point where they said they've got 350,000 members, they probably could have said, but no, don't worry, there's no need to, there's no monthly membership. And then there's motivation, which is getting people excited. So it's, how incredible are these wines? How do I benefit from it? And it could be, I like having friends over for drinks. I like, hosting. So these wines are the things that are going to really stand out because they're different. It's unlikely anyone else is going to have access to them unless they're a naked wines person. So it's like that's a bit of status, stuff like that. And then it's, how do you get that messaging in? How do you get that imagery in? So it's less about UX and more about how do we get someone looking at this going, yeah, I want to be that person in that picture. I want to be drinking these incredible wines with my friends.
Got it. So it's experience. It's what kind of experience you give. How do you remove the anxiety of the process of converting? And third is the motivation. How can you increase motivation to get me to convert. Awesome. I love
So
that framework.
Anxiety, just touch on anxiety. It's on both the product and the business. So
yeah.
You know, someone might say, I don't know, what would a concern about a product be, about wine be?
Yeah.
Is it vegan? I don't know, something like that. But a concern about the business might be, what happens if one of the bottles isn't there, or it comes broken, or I don't like it, or it's off. And that's that 100% money back guarantee. So it's kind of addressing concerns about the product itself, and then just what happens if it goes wrong. Got
it. We do have a last question, but I'll park it out and I'll get you to answer it later, and we'll post it on LinkedIn and on Twitter, guys. We thank you so much, Will. So if I have to ask you on a scale of 10, what would be your rating for the new user experience and your logged in user experience for this for the brand?
Oh, I don't want to come across as mean because I really like him. Maybe a 7 for the landing page, and maybe a 5 for the logged in, or the kind of 4 or 5, just because it's not helping me get to where I want to be. Right, I want to land on that page, and I want to buy some wine, and it's making me click in places and do things. So I think
awesome. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for your questions. We'll answer the final question later. On it will be there answered, and we just have a hard stop. So we'll be back next Friday, and hopefully you can catch Will. We'll post his details there. So any of you who wanna talk to Will later and ask him about CRO or retention in specific, please feel free to reach out to him. Thank you. Have a